Hey guys, welcome back to today's episode. So today we didn't trade in small caps. So I figured let me just go over what I traded in terms of the options. Let me mute some stuff real quick. So if you guys have been keeping in touch, well, if you guys look at my Twitter, I post my option plays and my positions and what I've been trading, and I've been posting on the YouTube post as well. So today I took a put on QQQ, which netted me about 146, but I also took a call on SPY at 696, which did put me at a loss at $66. So I did get it win around 79 today profit, but today in the SPY that would have been the winner, but I kind of got stopped out from this candle, which I'll show you guys earlier or later. So first thing that I'm seeing when I'm pulling up the not level two, but the charts, I'm looking at all three indexes. I have three different charts set up for QQQ, IWM, and SPY. So obviously I want to know that there's a gap fill at some point. So we had a gap from 626 all the way to 629, 628 basically. And coming into the open, I was like, this seems really good, like a really good setup to flush straight into the gap fill. So one of the things I mentioned that was really important about the strategy that you're looking at the 5-minute chart. Obviously, you want to have the 15-minute chart for bigger time frame, but the 5-minute chart will, I guess, give you a better, longer hold time. This one not rejected, but reversed pretty quickly, which is why I like to wait typically after 7 a.m. I like to wait after 7 a.m. because the contracts will get cheaper, and usually the market will pick a direction after that time. Not all the time. Sometimes it'll just keep falling straight down, but that's why it's important to know where possible, highs or lows are. So the high of this open was 629.65. I noticed that we instantly started sinking way below the 9 and 20 MA. The 20 is already over the 9, and it starts rejecting right, at the VWAP. I was waiting for this a little bit further around here to maybe give some sort of, I guess, reversal into a double top, but we didn't really get that. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take puts. Everything's looking good. The MACD is negative, and I think we will go into this gap fill. So I set my cost for the put at cost of 92 cents. So it was a little bit pricier. It's a bit pricier because start of the morning. It was at 87, 85, but that I was still deciding, I don't know, it's pretty early and I did want to wait, but we did have this really nice gap and I was like, I think we'll fill it. So I take an entry. So right now the put's worth 2 cents, obviously, because it's closer to the end of the day. I take it 635. So pretty much after this 5-minute candle closes right here, I see this rejection. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go for this because this is a really good setup. It's not, it keeps rejecting off the 90 MA to start. So I get in and I'm holding for about actually a minute, really quick. It was the quickest minute, but I netted around $145. So you can see here, I bought in for $455 for 5 contracts, and then I sold it for $600. And it did go down a little bit further, but this entire candle pretty much reversed. Like I sold right here, and it kept going lower. Actually, no. Let me look at the 1-minute chart. The 1-minute chart was actually better visual. It's kind of hard to see on here. Let's see. So I got in at 635. So as soon as this candle hit, on the 1-minute chart, it's better. You can see it better where it's rejecting off the 920 MA. Well, it's not even touching the 20 MA. It just shot straight through those supports and it kept going down. So I get in for here and then I get in pretty much at the end of this candle. And I noticed it does sink a little bit lower to a low of 627. My strike price was 627 on the dot. There is no $0.50 for the QQQ. It's only whole dollars for the contracts, and that was enough to profit over $100. But the reason why I got out, I was like, I don't know. I want to take my profit, but I just didn't feel confident. I was like, I feel like this is going to reverse, which it pretty much did. I was hoping for this to go lower. I just took my profits. I was like, forget it. We'll take it here. And I did have a little bit of buying power left. I think I had $189 of buying power. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we can catch another move. And this is what I'm talking about. So this did reverse. Obviously, heading into 7 a.m., it was already showing signs of a reversal, but you don't always have to wait till 7. But if you obviously want to get cheaper contracts, that are like 40 cents or $40, $50, that can easily 2x, you can. But you can see here, as this is already squeezing up, MACD is already turning positive right here on this 655. It's breaking through the 920 EMA. 920 EMA is crossing over, broke through VWAP, and you can see this holding right above the 90 EMA, and it just keeps riding. Now on SPY, QQQ and SPY trade relatively the same. I was looking at IWM, but I figured SPY and QQQ would give us better action today since they were pretty. I mean, I think SPY made a new all-time high today, so that's also part of it. So you can see it was very similar in the move, a little bit different, but so I took an entry on SPY right at this candle right over here. So look over here. My fill price was 55 cents, and then I got in at 701. So at 701, right at this candle right here, I sold for about a loss of 20 cents, 22 cents ish. Yeah, 22 cents loss. I didn't want to risk losing all the gains today, but also knowing that contracts that are 0 DTE can easily expire and go zero. And obviously, if it's going in the wrong direction, your contracts will start deteriorating as fast as you can, fast as they can. And you guys know that. If you guys trade options, I'm sure you guys are aware. This is what flushed me out. This candle right here, and I did not let it close. I normally need to start waiting till I need to wait till candles close because this was a whole 5-minute candle. It bounced off VWAP, 20 EMA, and 90 EMA, and it closed way above, and it kept holding below it or above it. It did dip down for a second, and I told myself, let's wait for a better entry. I don't know why I got in here. I think this initial candle, I was seeing a lot of green. I didn't let it finish. So when I'm trading this, I need to make sure these candles finish and close fully to get a visual confirmation. I told myself, let me get a better entry. Let me get an entry. But no, I was too. I got too. I jumped in. I jumped the gun. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes later, a better entry would have been here, a bounce off the VWAP and the 20 EMA. I wouldn't have taken this trade here, but as it's curling back up, that would have given me the visual confirmation that, hey, 696 call would work because it's reversing the trend is bouncing off the support levels and it's riding off the 90 EMA just like so. And you see how it keeps on riding and riding. It starts to get thinner around here, so maybe likely around this area I would sell. I mean, at this point, these contracts, I'll show you how much they were worth. So I got in, let's see, right around here, 52, 50, yeah, well, 55 cents, but 55 cents, it went all the way down to 31. But if I had taken this entry around here as it started to curl up, see how quickly this contract started going up? Almost a 2x. This was a 90, 80% gain. Obviously, at the low, it'd be a 3x, but that's never possible, or not never possible, but it's usually hard to capture the very bottom of the move. So that's how I traded this today. On QQQ, we'll look at how this looks. And I wish I could show you the candlesticks on here. I don't know how to change it, how to show candlesticks on here, but I pretty much sold at 118, as you can see at this 118 limit price. And that was the high of those puts. So I got out just in time. I'm glad I took the profit when I did and didn't overstay my welcome. Now, you can continue trading this. You can probably stay on a single index fund, trade it the whole way, just go back and forth if you have the funds. I'm trading on cash account on Robinhood, so that's why I can't really trade this whole time. But if I could, I would, and likely maybe SPX because better index. And I think I'm getting a better hang of this. I just need to have visual confirmation of candles closing, and obviously when things are aligning, like everything was showing good here. This was just a bad entry, but good idea. And I'd rather take my stop loss and blowing up my account. Now, how would this go going the opposite way in puts? Well, 696, you can see it rejected here at 696.50. I guess you would take 696 put once you start to see this breakdown into the 20 EMA, and the MACD is going negative, so that can be very helpful. Better, I guess, gives you better confidence to take that trade going down. And going down it did. As soon as it broke through 696, so you still could have profited on the 696 put going down. But obviously, when would you take profits? Well, when you start to see sign of reversal. This is a sign of reversal. You see this MACD starting to turn back the trend. But obviously, these swings is not as strong as this initial entry, I guess, or the first hour or 2 hours of the market is usually better. Right now, it's slowly starting to sell off. I'm looking at 3 different things at once, and I didn't feel like IWM was the one to trade. it felt a little too slow at first. Like this whole area right here just felt too slow, and I just couldn't get a good grip. I couldn't get a good read. Um, Even by that time, say if I had a high of this candle right here at 264, it still sort of double topped over here and rejected. So I think IWM, it was just very choppy, and I didn't like the price action. The price action was not there. It was very slow. I think IWM yesterday was a lot better. So right here, let's look into IWM yesterday. Okay. Well, you could have profited two ways on this. Like I said, in this strategy, you can profit any way the market goes. You just have to be able to know where the breaking points and where the support points are. So I'll remove this, remove that. Okay, so for, I guess, 10 minutes of market passes by, you see this candle's going, you have the low of this candle, high of this candle. So obviously you want to take a break, you know, whatever makes the first new high of the day. Got to make sure your MACD is supporting that move up, which it is, and it's going above the 90 EMA, and it did climb up pretty steadily all the way up to almost 267. So if I were to take an entry right here, let's say at the break of this high, at this candle right there, 265.44, I would take the call at 265, the closest whole dollar. That's where I would take that. The QQQ was a little bit different today. I did take a little bit further out. One, I was trusting that the gap would fill, but two, it was already pretty expensive because QQQ is pretty volatile and it swings $2 to $4, $7 sometimes on a good day. So yeah. And then at this top right here, how would I know? Okay, I see the top right here. How would I know when to take puts? Well, I wouldn't take puts here because you don't know if this could easily reverse and just continue up higher. I mean, this is a topping tail, 15-minute chart. This is why I like the 15-minute chart as well. What the hell? All right, sorry. The 15-minute chart? Nope, this is not the 15-minute. That's from today. Whereas, yeah, look right here. This is not really a nice candle. On the 15-minute chart, that's not really pretty. So I was like, okay, that was really good. And I think I forgot what I took yesterday. But yeah, that's how I would have traded that. Obviously, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But as you're going down, I learned from yesterday, don't just go because it's looking good, but make sure that you get confirmation. This had confirmation as it was swinging down. It did break the 9 EMA, tried to recover above the 9, and then instantly got slammed. So this would be a good scalp. So yeah, that's how you could trade that going the opposite way. Let me know if this sounds confusing or if you guys don't trade options. Just read an options book. I recommend, let's see, this book, Understanding Options by Michael Sincere. If you guys are interested, I think this got me a really good introduction, but obviously just practice in the simulator. I don't know if there's any simulators for options, but if you want, maybe try to guess on your own. Say, pretend you place a call, save that call on your watch list and watch it go. That would be a good, better way, I guess, to practice instead of putting real money, because just know that your money could all go down in an instant. It can go down 50% if the market instantly swings. But that's why we have stop losses, and we did have a stop loss today. But yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in the strategy or if this is something that I should just keep on Twitter. I just wanted to make this video today to show you guys that, hey, this is what I traded. It's not the cleanest format in terms of explaining it, but at the end of the day, it's momentum. Momentum is the same any way it goes. We're just riding the trend, and I'm seeing that this trend's going up, riding above the 90 EMA. MACD is good. We're breaking through the high of the day. That's what's important. So yeah, technicals, all technicals. Obviously, if whatever way the market goes, we're gonna find a way to trade it the way down. If it goes up, find a way to trade it up. But yeah, let me know. Take care, guys. Hopefully you guys are good. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.